Well, I think it's time to spill the tea. You see, I'm looking back and I realize I've been sicker than I thought for longer than I thought. I'll have a day here and there that I feel good, and then of course when you feel better after feeling like you're gonna die, it's like, ah! And then the next day you're down for another month or two. I've been like that since October of 2022. And I've had my scans get worse and my scans get better. When I left in May, they said everything had stopped growing from the last test, which was 6 months prior. No new nothing. So kind of like remission. But yet I still felt horrible. I realized tonight the sickness that I feel is the anger that I hold and I stew on and I think about, right? I'm a Leo sun, but a Virgo moon, Venus, and rising. With a North Node in Capricorn and a South Node in Cancer. Yeah. Emotional and in my head. And all that caused me was more feeling of depleted of energy. I've gotten to where I can get out of bed and go to the bathroom and I'm out of breath, and it's 6 feet from me. It took me about an hour to make the bed, you know. Even though the cancer was on hold, I declined in my health. Energy. It's what I was missing. I was just like, I just have no energy. And it's been from holding in everything that I've been holding in all my life. From being molested by my father's best friend at 11 years old. He was like my second father. That was stunning. To trying to commit suicide at 16 and 19 and 22, 21? No, 19 and 20. To talking myself out of every good thing I ever could have had. I was a master. I mean, go back, if you knew me, if you truly knew me, you knew if I set my mind on something, consider it mine. And that's where past life karma comes into play. Because you have karma that you need to work through with other people that have had karma with you in past lives, right? It's a contract. You have to So maybe at one time you weren't such a good person. You racked up a lot of karma with these people. Maybe you killed them or robbed them or stole them or whatever. And in this life, it's vice versa, because it's karma. You may not even know it. You may be a good person and think, why does all this shit always happen to me? Well, honey, we have to have the bad to have the good. And so we have to experience the bad to experience the good. And if the good stays good all the time, it does not create growth. It does not fulfill contracts. That's why you see a lot of people getting married and divorced and married and divorced and married and divorced and all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, they have children, which create karma. So all these contracts they're having all these little chitlins with, and creating more karma for the whole family and ancestral line. I'm not saying don't have kids. I'm saying have children with your divine partner. Not every Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary, Jay, and Sue that come along. That's why people are so sad these days. They got too much cum inside of them. Seriously, it all carries DNA, and that DNA energy gets stuck into you. And guess what, ladies? Every guy that you've ever, you know what, without a rubber, you're carrying their energetic DNA in them, in you. Yeah. And so you're energetically connected to those people. Yeah. You got to do some real cleaning. And I'm not talking about taking the comment and a toilet brush and going to the bathroom and having a heyday. I'm not talking about that. Hold up, ladies. I'm talking about spiritual cleaning. Knowing how to clean your energy. Because they can kill you. All the people that you've been with can kill you. Because they're constantly draining on your energy, whether they know it consciously or subconsciously. It's just the way the energy works. Unless you know how to clear your energy properly. Not the, okay, I'm clear. Bitch, you ain't. I'll just tell you from here, you got some dirty ass energy, I'm just saying. You keep it over there about 100 feet, because my aura's going, ugh. Help me. So anyway, yeah. So I've got a lot of anger and resentment and frustration and pure rage bottled up inside from 51 years of being gaslighted by every mother-loving doctor I've ever been to, including the first one that did my hysterectomy, right? Yeah. I told him I wanted everything out. I almost had to have 2 blood transfusions before this whole hysterectomy thing happened. I was bleeding that much. I had the whole uterus full of, I don't know, grapefruit-sized fibroids, yeah. So I bled for like 8 months straight. But you know me, I was like, I'm a horse trainer and I'm booked till August, so I'm gonna work till August. This is January. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, that's when I won my first colt starting contest, because I had half the blood in my body. Like literally when I got home, I was like, just completely out. So this guy, he is a colored, I don't know what the proper term is, I don't get in trouble, man, gynecologist in Lewiston, Idaho. And I told him I want everything out. I was already like 30-some years old. I'm like, I don't want kids. My husband doesn't want kids, so just take it all out. It's such a hassle. I'm already prepared for the hormone thing and how it's going to be, and just take it all out. And so we got into surgery, and before they knocked me out, I said, okay, we're doing everything, right? And they looked in the paper, it says double oophorectomy, hysterectomy, and whatever. And I said, yep. They go, yep. And they knocked me out. I woke up. My mom was standing there, and she goes, you're gonna be mad. I'm like, who tells their daughter on their wake-up bed coming out of anesthesia, you're gonna be mad? I'm like, what is it? Because I'm already getting pissed. I already had all these 30 years of complete frustration and anger that I was like, I just need one thing. Just one thing. It can be like, oh, well, you know, they lost a surgical thing inside of you and then stitched you up and had to restitch you up and take it out. So, yeah, that's the bad news. No. That wasn't the bad news. That would have been nice. I'm like, oh, is that it? Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. She goes, well, when he got in there, he left one of the ovaries. And I'm like, no. Because I had a cyst in one ovary, and I was like, I just want them all out. And I'm like, what? Oh yeah, he decided that one of them looked fine and left it, and so you got an ovary. And I'm like, call my doctor in here. That mother lover never showed up. They kicked me out of there. I called 8 a.m. the next morning and I said, I want him to call me now. 7 o'clock that night, he finally has the baby size lizard micro tiny testicles to call me. And he says, well, it looked fine and this and that. And I'm like, it didn't matter. We had an agreement. You don't play God on the table just because I'm telling you what I want and you were trying to get me out of it because you thought I still needed the hormones. It was best for me to have the hormones. I know best because I'm God. I told him what I thought about him, and I had a 2-week post-op. And within the 2-week post-op, I started having cyst pains. Yeah. So when I went in there for the 2-week post-op, I said, I'm having the same pains that I had before the freaking hysterectomy. I wanted everything out. Well, we can go in and take the other one out. And I'm like, what? That's your answer? Oh, we'll just go in and take the other one. Do you think I'm like a corpse that you can just go in and out of? And he left bruises on my thighs. Like he was up, because he was, I don't know what I don't know. But there was major bruises on both thighs, and my stomach had bruises. And it wasn't from the surgery, because it was vaginally, so there was nothing. Yeah, it was like he put his elbow and just telling me what to do. I'll do whatever I want. You know why I know this stuff? Because when I released the tissue from the areas that he traumatized, I got all the information back of what he was thinking the whole time during my surgery. You know how painful that was? You tell me, you little white princess bitch. Tell me what to do. Just because I'm black and you think you're better than me, you can tell me what to do. Fuck you, bitch. I'll do what I want to do. Boom. That's exactly what he was thinking as he was digging his elbow into me and just, yeah. Then I had a lump, which I ignored because I went in for a mammogram. They said it's just an overactive duct gland. So I just was like, oh, it's just a duct gland that's overactive. Okay. A couple, 7 years later, I noticed it was just getting a little bigger. And I'm like, it's just probably getting more overactive is what my mind was telling me. Until it got a little bigger, and I was like, I'm not gonna even look at it, think of it, it's just nothing. And finally I opened this book. It was a book of brewing teas, and I just opened it up to one page, like halfway through, and it was the tea for cancer, and I'm like, fuck. Thanks, Spirit. I guess I gotta face that one now, right? Yeah. So I went in, and it was 2021 February, and the doctors had like goggles and something else, and then the shield, right? And they're trying to just have a conversation with you and looking at you like you got the rabies because you're not vaccinated. Check. So anyway, he did an ultrasound, and it was a lump, and I said, well, I'm not going to do surgery or any of this kind of stuff. I mean, you think it's like cancer, or just maybe like, he's like, well, I've done a lot of these and it looks like cancer. I was like, okay, that's all I needed to know. And so they wanted to do a biopsy, and I'm like, and I'm already in shock, right? He just said the cancer word, and I'm like, shut down. Yeah, autistic here with a little whatever. I'm just a really sensitive person. Just shut down and left the body, right? Then he's like, well, we'll get you in for a biopsy. I'm like, oh, okay. Not thinking, boom, it's like somebody just had a gun to my head. My brain just went, shut off. and they had me already like, boom, right in for a biopsy. And I felt a little uneasy about it. Like I really didn't want to, but they were just like all over it. And I don't even remember signing in because I was so nervous and so scared. And I kept thinking, you know, this just doesn't feel right. And got on the table and she told me what she was going to do. And I said, you know, are you sure this isn't going to piss it off? Those are my exact words. She goes, no, this is protocol. And I'm like, yeah, but are you sure it's not going to just piss it off? And, no. Well, I'm going to heal this on my own. I'm not going to have surgery, chemo, radiation, anything. I'm doing this on my own. This is just protocol. You'll be fine. And I'm like, okay. So I trusted her, and she did what she did, and I'm watching her on the CT scan, and she's going in with the lidocaine or whatever, and then big in for the big one for the biopsy. Because they went in on all different areas with the lidocaine, and then went in for the biopsy. It's important. She got all done. She goes, okay, you're all done. Now, we put a titanium marker in the tumor, so we need to go have a mammogram of it so we can take a picture of it. And I'm like, I'm already like in shock that she just said she put a fucking titanium marker in my breast after I told her I was not having surgery. My brain went, shut off, go on, I'm out of here. And I walked over and let him smash my breast flat after they had just poked that tumor all of those times. If you poke something that is enclosed in a sheath and growing, and you go through it, what happens? You release all those cancer cells into the bloodstream like that. And then you go over and squish it flat and release all that so it will be able to multiply. This is their way of trapping you. So I went home and did everything I could to heal. And 2 months later, I just noticed that there was like this line raised up. And then the tumor thing was kind of raised up. I'm like, what the? And then there was another little dot over here that was raised up, like a separate tumor, but attached to the line. I'm like, what is that? And I got to looking, and they biopsied it from here and went into the tumor. And when they pulled it back out, the cells gathered on the inside of the skin and created another tumor. Biopsies spread cancer. These are for especially, well, for any cancer, if they biopsy, they spread it. But after they mush it, it just like intensifies, right? Within 2 months, I went from a stage 2 to a stage 4. When I went in to have a scan, guess what? They call it satellite arms. I said, bitch, it not. I said, that's every freaking needle track, and every needle track showed up. I have scans to prove it. No, there's a satellite arms. I'm like, no, this is where the biopsy needle was. And when you pulled it out, now there's another little tumor. So what you did is you just opened up that tumor and spread it all over my body. So now it went not only from the breast to the bone to the and to the lymph. Well, the only thing we can do is chemo and radiation and surgery. Yeah, I see that now. I should have known. I felt uneasy about it. Everything I've done that I felt uneasy about, I've paid for it. So I went from a stage 2 to a stage 4 in 2 months. And then I really put the boots to it. I tried, and they were hitting me with all these CAT scans and bone scans every 3 to 4 months, which kills your energy, which is your regrowth, right? Every time you get zapped, it depletes your energy, and so then your body has to redo it, right? And so by the time you get to going in your energy again, they zap you again to keep you at that level of not healing. This is where they get you. This is where they got me, and I'm spreading the word right now. I'm going to spread the word on a lot of things that I've gone through this last couple years. Of all the people that I've dealt with, the people that have scammed me, the people that have robbed me. It's all coming out. I am tired. of people's bullshit. I'm so freaking tired of people's bullshit. Finally, I went in the next year. I think it was May. I had just bought this horse that was, say, lame and blown up. Took 3 months of like 3 times a day, each day, 7 days a week for 3 months, along with riding and retraining. And I had just taken him to his first race, and he did amazing. Went in the next week to have the results from my CAT scans and stuff that I thought was going to be amazing, only to find out that it moved to my liver. And at that time, she told me I had about less than a year to live, and that was in May. Out of body. What do? You're like, oh, so you're telling me I'm gonna probably not make it to Christmas. This is 2022. And she left. I got up and I said, watch me. And I walked out that door and I never went back. I stewed on it for longer than I should have. Got into that, what do they call that, autistic burnout freeze mode, ADHD, whatever. I was like paralysis. And I waited until the last minute, and I got so stressed by having to sell the house because I was out of money. I couldn't pay for it anymore. Thank God for my mom. She helped me with quite a few payments, and I always paid her back when I sold horses. We're at a complete zero debt, which I love. I'm debt free. I learned a lot about myself. And a lot about people. And truly, it's one of those things when you know it and you understand it, but that doing it is a whole other thing. And it's me. That's me. The energy that you emit out of your heart is the energy that you're going to get back in your reality. I know that. And why is it so easy to slip, hold grudges, when it's just a karmic play that's playing out? And the more that you can just duck and dive, love the highs and enjoy the lows. That way when you ride those highs, they feel like heaven. And I've been in pain my whole life and attracting that pain to me my whole life, which drew in my first saboteur, which was my molestation. Even in my first accident, falling off the changing table in my head, it did quite a number on my spine. And also the scar tissue in my head from being hit, which created trauma, which brought trauma. So the more trauma I had on me, the more trauma I attracted to me. That's why I've been doing this dowsing TTR method of releasing all this tissue myself. You don't need anybody else. I mean, you can have other people that help you and get it done faster, yes. But the method that I have, nobody else has. I have the only method to get rid of the tissue, the fascia that's all disconnected and combobulated and froze and like crystallized in your, when you get to like, I can't move it, that's because it's crystallized. And I have moves and I have, let me put this correctly. I have the method that releases all past life karma puts flexibility back into your body, raises your energetic vibration, because the less negative heavy weightness you have and the more flexible, feeling good, your vibration rises, right? You hear the windstorm. We've had storms every night here. It's just insane. I figured August in Utah, woohoo! No, gushers and lightning storms hit over there on the Red Rock. Watched it explode on the rocks, bright, like it caught on fire, but there's nothing to catch fire. It was like right out my window. I'm like, wow, right over the head, like literally the light and the boom at the same time. I'm like, all right, spirit, all right, spirit. You may laugh, but it is what it is. My Mount Shasta name, that Mount Shasta named me while I was there, is Thunder. The reason behind this is because in my past life, I was born in a lightning storm, therefore making me the lightning. And in this lifetime, I am the boom, thunder. You can feel the chair there rocking. Don't come a knocking. The door will lock you out when you open it. Whack! I'm like, seriously? What is this? Oh my gosh. So all that trauma that you hold within your body impressionates into the fascia system. And that fascia system is a memory system. And it never forgets a thing. And it's always there to protect you from doing the thing again, which in turn doesn't create full movement, which creates distortion, which creates stiffness, and then you need a pill. See, everything is action and anger and fighting nowadays because they want you traumatized for life. So now's the time that we stand up. We stand up. United, we stand. United, we rise. Let us rise right now. It is time. I'm calling out all God's little warriors, like I, to stand up for your rights. You have universal law rights. Did you know that? Everything has to abide by the law. Everything. Nobody, not even anything galactic, can go against the law. And if you know the 12 laws of the universe, look them up. And you apply that to your life, and do. You will raise your vibration so high, and please do, that everything around you will rise too. But you have to rise first. I've already rose. I'm lending out my hand right now. Take a hold of my hand. Feel my energy. Feel that pulsing through your arms, through your chest, through your other arm. Feel your palms vibrating next to mine. Sharing healing energy with each other. Stand up and rise. Stand up and rise. It's time. With what is going on politically, demographically, energetically, is beyond anything that you can comprehend. Just know this is written in the stars, and what is destined to be will always be. And yes, the good always win when they take off their hard shell and realize that their light is so freaking bright that there is nothing that can cause a shadow. If you put a light in a room and you illuminate everything, but when you dim it, it becomes shadows. So put down your weapons. Turn your focus off what you're hating on and turn it towards yourself right now. Just coming out of Lionsgate portal, the energy right now at this moment, this is why there's so many storms right now, because we are getting hit so hard with solar storms and solar flares and all these things and energy. And why? Because we're in a brand new place in the galactic universe. And it's feeding us this energy right now of expansion, and expansion is a bitch sometimes because it hurts. To look at our ugly side, to look what we've done, look how we've treated people. But best you do it now, because after you die, that's what you do, is you get put in a white room and you judge yourself. You are your judge, jury, and what you want to do next lifetime. Because now you have karma with all these souls. And all these souls are going to play parts in your life. So when you raise your vibration so high that the ones that meet you to your vibration will match you 100%. Because you both are a mirror of each other. Everybody is a mirror of everybody. And we are all a mirror of God. Are you ready to rise? Please like, share, comment. And know that if you see this video, you are one of the chosen.